All right, what's going on, beautiful people? This is Brother Omawale here, stopping in with a quick midday meditation, a quick dose of medicine from my family in the African War College. First and foremost, I'd like to thank all of you who have enrolled or enlisted in the community so far. I'm really looking forward to big things in 2022. I'm really looking forward to growing together as a community. And in order for us to grow, I'm definitely going to be looking for your input. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you go to the home tab on the Patreon and fill out the new member intake assessment, because we definitely want to hear back from you all. We want you to assist us in shaping our content strategy for the War College. But that being said, I told you all that, starting this week, I would be moving forward with every Tuesday and Thursday at 4 p.m. Releasing a quick dose of medicine referred to as Soapbox Sessions with Brother Omawale. And SOAP is essentially an acronym. It stands for Sound Only Patreon Exclusives. So you get my beautiful, buttery voice over this mic midday, just to give you all some reflection, some meditation, some inspiration to help get you through your day. So today what I want to build on is how do we honor the dead? Right, today is Tuesday, January the 18th, 2022. Yesterday was January the 17th, and as many of you know, the United States commemorated the life of Martin Luther King Jr. I know we all feel different ways when it comes to like these co-opted holidays to honor, our loved ones, our soldiers, our fighters. But that's not necessarily the subject of the discussion, right? Because this past weekend on Saturday, on King's birthday, I believe it was King's birthday was on Saturday, but I think that it was recognized, the holiday was on Monday, so y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But either way, this past Saturday, I had the opportunity to spend some time with an elder from my city, Dr. Regina Jennings, one of the early members of the Black Panther Party from the city of Philadelphia. And we spent the better part of the afternoon together, eating at her kitchen table and talking about the movement, about the state of our community, and what we need to be doing as a people in this moment. So she told me that she wanted me to check out a documentary. The name of the documentary was 41st and Central. It was about the Los Angeles chapter of the Black Panther Party that was founded by Bunchy Carter. So she happened to send it over to me yesterday, and it's so crazy, it's so serendipitous how these things work at times, right? Because I received it on the 17th of January. She and I were actually supposed to meet earlier in the month, but the first meeting, I wasn't feeling well, and then the second meeting, she wasn't feeling well. So, we were able to make it happen this past Saturday, long story short. But so she sends me the documentary. I watched it yesterday being the 17th of January. And it's talking about, Bunchy Carter, John Huggins, Bobby Hutton, a lot of the struggles of the Panther Party in LA that they had with the police. And just out of curiosity, I was like, well, when was the date of, their assassination, the date that these three brothers passed away? And I, just go to Google and do a quick search. And I saw that the date was January the 17th, 1969. And I had saw earlier in the day, and my brother Kalanji had put a post on Twitter about Patrice Lumumba, who was also assassinated on January the 17th. So I'm like, wow, there's so much energy happening around this moment, right? And it made me think to myself, like, how do we as fighters honor the dead, right? Those who have given their life and struggle for their people. And I have two really big pet peeves when it comes to discourse around this particular issue. The first, and it's one that I hear a lot from this generation, is that, well, those people died broke, and is over with for the days of the poor righteous teacher, right? I mean, we're going to be financial revolutionaries. We're going to get money, right? So when I hear people say shit like, Malcolm X died broke, I always just have to, in love, correct them and say Malcolm X did not die broke. Malcolm X died fighting. His objective was not to get rich. If Malcolm wanted to get rich with the mind that he had for organizing, with the skill that he had for inspiring people, he could have been a demagogue. He could have been a businessman. He could have made millions of dollars with the genius and talent that he has, or that he had. But he chose to forgo that so that he could work and fight for a better future for his people. A future where we are redeemed, where we are sovereign, where we are liberated, where we are once again a free people. Right? And I think that gets lost sometimes, where it's like, well, Malcolm died without money and his family suffered. If his family suffered, it's on us. That we as a community did not come together to take care of his family. Right? That's one of the big problems that I have with being a fighter, because often there's no reciprocity. The people will watch you die. They will watch you kill yourself. They will watch you give of yourself to no end without pouring back into you. So that's a pet peeve of mine, right? When I hear people say Malcolm died broke. But the second is this notion that our ancestors who were freedom fighters, when they were murdered, they didn't give their life, right? People say they didn't sacrifice their life. And I'm speaking specifically to a post that I saw yesterday on Twitter. And it I'm not going to say it upset my spirit, but it's a very commonly held belief today that people express. And I'm going to read it here. I'm going to read the exact post. It says, folks who were assassinated didn't give their lives. They were not out here trying to make the ultimate sacrifice. Their lives were tragically taken from them. They suffered. Their families lost someone who was irreplaceable. The narrative that folks gave their lives is inaccurate. Quote, end quote. I wholeheartedly disagree with that. I adamantly believe that when you make the conscious decision to step on the battlefield and engage in the struggle for liberation for your people, you have given your life to this struggle, to this war, to this fight for liberation. And in so doing, what you have chosen to do is to go against a system that oppresses you and that subjugates you and that assigns a position in society based upon this caste reality where we as Black people will remain on the bottom rung forever and forever and forever. So in choosing to go against that and in choosing to fight, we understand what the risks are, what the penalties are. It's going to be imprisonment. It's going to be death. It's going to be exile. It's going to be isolation. It's going to be demonization. It's going to be slander. It's not going to be comfortable. If you wanted a comfortable road, go to corporate America. Go get money if you want a comfortable road. But when you choose to struggle, that is sacrifice. And indeed, it is the ultimate sacrifice, because you are saying that, hey, I'm putting my life on the line for what I believe in. And I recognize that on this field, I could lose my life any day. So I want us to understand that this thing is it's not fun and games. This isn't a part-time job. This isn't a social club. Right? So we have to honor the dead, because they did, in fact, sacrifice their lives. We all know that we're going to die one day, but you're certainly increasing the chances of it happening quicker when you decide to engage in war. And we can't erase the fact that our ancestors were engaged in a war. And they understood that, and they understood themselves as soldiers in a war for the liberation of their people. So yeah, that doesn't sit with me. So I don't know who I heard say it before, so I can't quote them directly, but I've posted it several times on my social media that, the best way to honor a soldier is to pick up their sword and carry on the fight. Right? We never let their names die. We honor their names. We say their names. We pour libations for them. We thank them for their sacrifice. Right? We call on them in the ancestor realm so that they may be here with us as we continue to fight. So that's how we honor them. We keep their name alive. We don't forget their sacrifice. We support their families. We don't let their deeds die. We learn from their deeds. We learn from their lives. We draw inspiration from their actions. We read their words. We remember their sacrifice. So I'm going to play a clip really quick here. This comes from the documentary 41st and Central. And this is Elaine Brown talking, a member of the LA chapter of the Black Panther Party. She's talking about when they got the news that another member was murdered, Franco Diggs. And these were the remarks that Bunchy Carter said to the group. I'm going to let you hear this. Here it is.
Very powerful. That same night when that was over, Bunchy gathered some of us together and told us that Franco Diggs had been found dead, shot in the head in an alley in Long Beach, California. And he told us, don't cry. Don't you cry. We are soldiers, and this is how soldiers die. And you got to deal with this because you might be next. And we just ate that. And of course, we know what happened 2 weeks later.
I'm going to pause that. I wanted to share that because when we're talking about our ancestors, make no mistake, they understood what they were doing. They understood that they could potentially lose their lives in this battle. And in losing your life, that is the ultimate sacrifice. Agreeing to step on the battlefield is the ultimate sacrifice. And we have to honor that. So this has been my first soapbox session. I really do hope that you are able to sit with, meditate, and reflect on my remarks today. Please feel free to leave your comments below. Let me know what you think, if you agree, if you disagree. And most importantly, I want to thank you all for your sacrifice and for your commitment. I want to thank you all for enrolling in the War College and committing to doing the work to heal our community, to build for our community, and to free our community. And with that being said, I'm out. Peace.